Good morning once more. My name is Chiwara Miembe, and in this I'm a teacher of biology, and I'll be solving this past paper that was written in 2021 in November. You can see the year here. Okay, so let me just bring some functions, just a minute. Okay, so we can get started. So the first question is saying that which of the following are characteristics of living organisms? And the first one is digestion and excretion. The second one is B is digestion and nutrition. C is excretion and nutrition. Then D is nutrition and photosynthesis. So from the list you can see that photosynthesis only occurs in plants, so it's not the answer. And then you can also see that digestion only occurs in animals, so it can't be the answer. So the correct answer is C. Okay, then we go to question 2. Which of the following shows so the following diagram shows a detailed structure of sorry for that. Okay, so the following diagram shows a detailed structure of an animal cell, and they are saying which of the labeled part modifies and transports proteins from the site of synthesis to the site of reaction. So you know that transport of proteins is done by the endoplasmic reticulum. So here if we see A is the mitochondria, and then B is the Golgi apparatus, then C is the endoplasmic reticulum, and then D is the ribosome. So the correct answer is C. Okay, so okay, so what did we say here? We said the answer was I'll mark these answers for you. Okay, it was excretion and nutrition, and here we are saying it is C. Then we go to okay, anyway, let's go to C, to 3. So 3, they are saying the diagram shows an experiment conducted by Elena. So this is start of the experiment and then end of the experiment after 12 hours. So here we can see that there is a whisking tube, and then this whisking tube was reduced in size. So they are saying what is the correct explanation to what happened to the whisking tube after 12 hours. So a whisking tube is a semi-permeable membrane. So if it is pressed in a salt solution and it's containing distilled water, water will start moving from the whisking tube into the salt solution. So the correct answer here is that it shrank because water molecules moved out of it, making the answer to be D. Okay, then 4, the table shows the condition in the 4 test tubes containing equal amount of starch and salivary amylase. In which test tube would the starch be broken down fastest? So you know that starch, it works in an alkaline environment, so in a pH which is 7 or above, and then the temperature the optimum temperature is somewhere about 37 degrees there. So you can see that if the pH is acidic, as in for A, starch will not be able to work, so the reaction will be slow. So the correct answer here is the alkaline condition, which is D there. Okay, so the pH should be 7 and the temperature should be optimum, which is 37 degrees. If the temperature is 27, the reaction will be slow because the enzyme will be inactive. Okay, then here we are saying that 4 food samples were tested, each for the following nutrients. So fat, they used ethanol, and then proteins, they used burette reagent, then reducing sugars, they used Benedict solution. Which of the following sample contained the proteins and reducing sugar? So a sample which contained proteins should be able to turn purple. So we can see that the only possible answer is A and B, so forget about C. And then there we go to sugar. So if it contains reducing sugar, then it should turn brick red. So you can see that only A had the sample, only B had the sample which turned brick red. Okay, so the answer here, making our answer to be B. So B is the answer. Okay, so B is the answer there. Okay, then the next question is, a child is fed on beef, oily fish, cheese and water. Which nutrient would be in low levels in the diet? So the nutrient that would be here, you can see that there are no fruits, so there is no source of vitamin C. So since there are no fruits or vegetables, there is no source of vitamin C. So this child will lack vitamin C. And what condition will this baby develop as a result of vitamin C? So they are more likely to develop scurvy. Remember that scurvy is a disorder due to lack of vitamin C. Okay, so the answer there is C. Okay, then we go to 7. They are saying, which of the following plant nutrient is essential for germination of the pollen grain and the growth of the pollen tube? So this one is straightforward. The answer is A. Boron is required for the germination of the pollen tube. Okay, so we go to this diagram here, 8. So the following diagram shows a diagrammatic summary in the main event of photosynthesis. Okay, so they are remember that photosynthesis, it uses sunlight. Then this sunlight, when it reaches the chlorophyll, it is going to split water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so the process X here is photolysis. The process X is photolysis, and then we've got after, so photolysis will produce hydrogen and water. Then the hydrogen produces in the dark stage. So this where we are using sunlight is the light stage, and there is a stage where we don't use sunlight, which is the dark stage. Okay, so in the dark stage, the hydrogen that was produced will be reacted with another compound, which is carbon dioxide there, to produce glucose. Okay, so let's see which answer is correct. Okay, so you can see that C is correct because the process X is photolysis and the reactant Y is carbon dioxide. Then what is produced is glucose. Okay, so remember that photosynthesis produces glucose and not starch. Starch is just a storage form of glucose. So that is what makes the answer D to be wrong and then C to be correct. Okay, so we continue the journey. Here is the structure of a bread mold, which is also known as rhizopus. Okay, so which part produces digestive enzymes? Okay, so remember digestive enzymes are produced by this part here, D, which is our rhizoid. So the correct answer here is D. A does not produce enzymes. A produces spores instead, and then these spores are what germinate in order to produce new organisms. Okay, so 10, we go to 10. Which of the following is a dental formula of a dog? So how I remember the dental formula of a dog, it is straightforward. Just remember the number 3, 1, 4, then 2/3. 3. Okay, so which one is having that number? So you can see that D has got this number. So this is the 3, 1, 4, and then 2/3. So what that means is that a dog has got 3 incisor on the upper and 3 incisor on the lower, then 1 canine above, 1 canine below, and 4 premolars above, 4 premolars down, and then 2/3 is 2 incisor above and 3 incisor below. So this is the answer here is D. Okay, so what are we saying? The answer is D. We go to the next one, the digest. The diagram shows the human alimentary canal. In which labeled part does peristalsis take place? So peristalsis takes place in order to propel the food substances forward. So it occurs in the esophagus and also in the intestines. Okay, so meaning that the answer there is the one which is containing 3 and 4. So C is the correct answer there. Okay, we continue the journey. 12. Which of the following chemicals from cigarette smoking produces the amount of oxygen carried in the blood? Okay, which of the following chemicals from the cigarette reduces the amount of oxygen carried in the blood? So this is a straightforward question. We know it is carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide competes with oxygen at the level of hemoglobin. Okay, so let's go to the next question. So the answer there is carbon dioxide, which is A. Then this is an experiment that 13. The diagram shows an apparatus used to investigate the production of carbon dioxide. So here we've got an insect in this conical flask. This insect is producing carbon dioxide. So when this carbon dioxide is bubbled through lime water, the lime water will turn milk. Okay, but since here the air contains carbon dioxide, but as it passes through potassium hydroxide takes away the carbon dioxide. So the air coming into this test tube does not contain what? Carbon dioxide. As a result, this water will not turn milky. So the water in the test tube X will not turn milky, but the water in test tube Y will turn milky. So what is the answer? In X there will be no change, and then in Y there will be a change, so it will become cloudy. So meaning that the answer here is C. Okay, so C is the correct answer. Let's go to 14. Which of the following is not a safe sexual practice against HIV? This is also a straightforward question. So it is the use of contraceptive pills, because if you are using contraceptive pills, you are not protected against HIV, but you are only protected against becoming pregnant. Okay, so the answer there is C. Then 15. The diagram shows a sketch of the uptake of water by a plant. Okay, so you can see here is that there's a process 1 where water is being taken from the soil into the root hair cell. This is a root hair cell here. Okay, then this water is transported through the xylem. This is a xylem. So this is transpiration poo here. Okay, so how does water enters the root? Water enters the root via the process of osmosis. Then it passes through the xylem via transpiration poo, and then when this water reaches the cells in the leaf, it can move from one cell to the other by the process of osmosis, and then it can leave the cell through the opening known as the stomata by a process known as diffusion. Okay, so what is the correct answer? There you can see that 1 is osmosis. So all those answers which don't have osmosis in them, you cancel them out. In this case I'm cancelling these, and then C. So between so process 2 is transpiration poo, so we keep C and D, and then 3, what did you say 3 is? 3 is the movement of water from one cell to the other through a semi-permeable membrane. So this is a process of osmosis. Okay, so the one which has diffusion, we cancel it also, meaning that the correct answer is D. Okay, so that's how come D is the correct answer there. Okay, then which of the following donors would safely donate blood to a patient with blood group O? So remember that blood group O is a universal donor. Okay, but it can only receive blood from itself. So meaning that only O can safely donate blood to blood group O. So the answer there is D. Okay. Then 17, the diagram below shows the cross section of the heart. Okay. So they are asking about the chambers. So you can see that this chamber is on the right side. So this chamber is the right atrium, and this one is the left ventricle. Then these are the pulmonary veins. Why do we say these are the pulmonary veins? Because they are bringing blood in the left atrium. Okay, so we can see that X is the right atrium. So all those answers which do not contain right atrium, we cancel them out. Okay, so we cancel this one, we cancel this one. So meaning that the correct answer is C. Let's just confirm. So saying X is the right atrium, then Y is the left ventricle, and then Z is the pulmonary vein. So the answer is C there. Okay. Then 18, the diagram below shows the kidney and its blood vessels. Okay, so this is the kidney with its blood vessels. So what is the name of the part labeled X? So X is the cortex. There is no need to debate here. We know that X is the cortex. So the correct answer is A there. Okay, so A is our correct answer there. Then 19, the diagram shows a human skin. What is the name of the structure labeled X? Okay, so X is basically our sweat gland. So the correct answer there is D. Okay. Which one is the epidermis? This one is the epidermis, and this one is the dermis. And which one is the adipose tissue? It's this one. Okay, so the correct answer there is D. 20. Compare a hormone to a nerve impulse. Okay, so we know that a hormone. So compare a hormone, a nerve impulse. Okay, compare to a hormone, a nerve impulse. So here we are comparing a hormone and to a nerve impulse. So a nerve impulse generally has got a long-lasting response. This is not true, so we go with no. So all those answers which have got a yes in them, we cancel them out. So we cancel this one, we cancel this one. So we cancel this one here and this one here. We go with no, because we know that a nerve impulse has got a short duration. So we go with B and D. Then let's look at the last part. The response is fast. Yes, we know that the response is fast for a nerve impulse. So meaning that our answer there becomes B. Okay, so B is the answer. Okay. So is it that widespread response? No, a nerve impulse has no widespread impulse. It's localized. If it's going to the finger, it will just go to the fingers. Okay, so we go to question 21. A girl accidentally touches a hot object and immediately pulls her hand away. In this reflex, what is the effector? Okay, so the effector is the muscle in the arm. Okay, so the answer there is C. What is an effector? This is an organ that responds to a stimuli. So in this case, it's the muscle that is responding to the stimuli. Okay, so we go to 22. The diagram shows a human ear. What is the function of the labeled part X? So the labeled part X here, the labeled part X is the eustachian tube, and what is its function? It equalizes pressure between the middle ear and the atmosphere. So the answer there is D. Okay, then let's go to 23. Which of the following action straightens the arm at the elbow? So for the arm to be straightened at the elbow, that is known as extension. So what happens to the tricep and bicep for the arm to be in extension? So we know that the bicep has to relax and then the tricep contracts. So the answer there is C. Okay, so the bicep relaxes and then the tricep contracts. Then the hand will be in extension. Okay. Which of the following indicate primary growth in the plants? Okay, so differentiation of cells in the cortex. Okay, so this is an example of primary growth. Then formation of secondary xylem and frame, this is secondary and not primary growth. Okay, then we go to 25, which, so the answer there is A. And then 25, which of the following is not a condition necessary for seed germination? This is a straightforward. We don't need the soil for germination to take place. Okay, and then 26, a bean seed was germinated and grown in the dark for a few days. It was then pressed as shown in the diagram P. The diagram P shows the appearance of a seedling and the beginning of the experiment, while Q shows the appearance after 2 days. So we can see that the shoot is growing upward and the root is going downward. So when the shoot grows upward, this is either known as a positive phototropism or negative geotropism. Then when the roots grows down, it's either known as a positive geotropism or negative phototropism. Okay, so is it true that for the roots they're exhibiting a negative, roots are exhibiting negative phototropism, whereas the shoots are exhibiting positive phototropism, making the correct answer D there. Okay, so we're almost there. Okay, so which of the following methods of asexual reproduction are unique to amoeba, yeast, and fungi? So remember that from the lecture we had, amoeba, they carry out binary fission, and then in yeast it is fission, and then fungi it's spore formation. Okay, so the answer is A there. Okay, then name the following vegetative structures labeled Y, X, Y, and Z. So you can see that X, this is a bulb, okay, and then this one is a rhizome. Okay, this is a rhizome, and then this is a tube. Okay, so X is a bulb, then rhizome, the Y is the rhizome, and then this one is a tube there. You can see this is Irish potato, so it's a tube. So making the correct answer to be B. Okay. Then 29, they are saying the diagram shows a process in plant reproduction. So this is the anthers, which is the male part of a plant, and then this is the stigma, which is the female part of the plant, and then you can see pollen is being transferred from the anthers to the stigma. So what process is this? This is pollination. So the answer there is C. And 30, what is the mode of dispersal illustrated in the diagram below? Okay, so the mode of dispersal there is self, because this plant is just bursting and then the seed are dispersed. So this is self, making the answer to be B. Okay, then which route does a unfertilized ovum follow through the female reproductive system after it has been released in the ovary? So it will pass through the oviduct. Okay, so oviduct, uterus, and then comes out through the vagina there. Okay, so the correct answer is A. Okay, so let's go to 32. The diagram shows the side view of the male and female reproductive system. So you can see this is the male reproductive system, this is the female reproductive system. Which two parts are cut and tied during the process of tubal ligation and vasectomy? Okay, so remember, tubal ligation is basically the cutting of the fallopian tube, and then vasectomy is the cutting of the sperm duct. So this is the fallopian tube in female, and this is the sperm duct in male. So you can see that it is 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 is C. Okay, so the correct answer there is C. Then 33, which of the following correctly identifies the examples of continuous and discontinuous variation? Okay, so we can clearly see that here continuous variation, blood group is not continuous variation. Then colors of flowers in peas, okay, this is continuous variation. Then height in humans is also continuous variation. Then sex in human is not continuous variation. So which one do we cancel out? This can't be the answer, and this A and D cannot be the answer. Only B and C. So we come here, discontinuous variation. Is intelligence in human discontinuous variation? No. So the correct answer here is C. Okay, C. So meaning that height in human and the color of the eyes. Okay, so the correct answer is C. Then what stage of mitosis is illustrated G? So what can you see in this diagram? You can see the centrioles, and then you can see the chromosomes being put apart. So this chromosome is going this way and that one is going this way. So in which phase of mitosis are the chromosomes separated? It is anaphase. So A is the correct answer. This cell is in anaphase. Okay, the diagram below, so 35, the diagram below shows a family pedigree in which some members of the family have got hemophilia. Okay, then the question is which person is a carrier for hemophilia. So you can see that this person is a carrier, B is a carrier, because they produced people with offsprings with hemophilia. So B is the correct answer there. Okay, this one is sick and a male cannot be a carrier. Okay, and then D, a male cannot be a carrier again. So B is the correct answer there. Then 36, which of the following type of soil has the highest distribution of worms? So worms tend to go in the cells in soils which have got high water retention. So which soil has got high water retention? It is clay soil. So the correct answer there is A. Okay, then the diagram below shows a pyramid of biomass for organism in an ecosystem. Okay, which organism are carnivores? Okay, so remember that carnivores, these are organisms which feed on other animals. These are animals which feeds on animals. So a carnivore there is P and Q. So we can see this is the primary producer, which is your grass, and then this is a primary consumer, which can be your cows, your buffaloes, and others, and then Q can be a lion, which will feed on that, and then that will feed on that. So what are the correct answer? P and Q. Okay, so P and Q. Where is P and Q? P and Q is A. Okay, so we are moving fast. This is a population graph. So rabbits are a primary consumer. The following figure shows changes in the population of rabbits after a small number was released on an island when none had previously lived. So okay, what can we see? Here, from here, the population is increasing, and then here it becomes constant, and then the population starts decreasing. So which stage shows the birth rate was in which when the birth rate was equal to death rate? So the answer is C, because here you can see that the population was constant, meaning that the number of rabbits dying was equal to the number of rabbits being born. So making the answer C there. Okay, and then 39, which of the following, which diagram shows part of the carbon cycle? Okay, then which letter represents photosynthesis? Okay, so photosynthesis is a process by which carbon dioxide is converted into glucose. So here carbon dioxide is being taken from air and converted into a plant compound, which is basically your glucose. So C is the answer there. Then 39, which effect is least likely to occur as a result of deforestation? Okay, so A decrease in biodiversity, B an increase in soil erosion, C an increase in the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, then D an increase in risk of flooding. So flooding is not really as a result of deforestation. So it is the one which is most likely to occur as a result of deforestation. So we have finished this paper. We'll look at 2021 November, June, July for the GCs. For now, we can end here.